sales inspections report. And now this comes out of the rules of conduct. It's in Schedule 2, it's in Part 1, and it's about sales. So, and really clear, and Clause 2 in here is a sales inspection report is required for every property that you list. Now, when you're filling in your agency agreement, you've got yourself a listing. It has in that agency agreement, what's going with the property. So what are the inclusions? So many people write as per contract, and if I've talked about that once, I've talked about that a million times, and obviously that million times talking about it has been if there's a contract, fine, refer to it. If there's not a contract, fill it in. You should be talking to your vendor about what's going with the property and what's not. So look at the inclusions, look at the non-inclusions. There's a whole range of points in Clause 2, from A to K, I think it is, that tells you what needs to be in that inspection report. And obviously if you're using any one of the standard forms from ADL or EAC or any of those forms, they are covering everything that needs to be in that inspection report. Often it is the first page of your agency agreement, as you would refer to it. One of those points there talks about the description of any fixtures and fittings that are to be included in the sale of the property. Now, what has brought this to our attention, for me to be actually raising it this afternoon and talking about it, is the point on smoke alarms. So, and it was the case where there were no smoke alarms in the property. It wasn't picked up anywhere through the whole process. And then it was raised in the building report at the end, and then obviously the negotiations then started about, well, it's going to cost us X amount of dollars to put smoke alarms into the property, or it's going to, there's no, window locks on a strata building. So, and there needs to be window locks. So, all of those sorts of things. As an agent, now, it doesn't specifically list in the regulations that you need to look at window locks, that you need to look at smoke alarms. But come on, guys, if you're an agent, you're listing a property, you should know what's in a property. Look up. Property managers have learned how to do it. Look up. Are there smoke alarms? Look at the windows. Are there window locks on there? This is something that if you're trying to sell something, sell it well. This is more about the quality of what you're doing than the actual to the letter compliance of what you're doing. Good or best practice here will be to make sure that those things are there. Talk about it. Talk to your vendor, because it's going to come up in the building report if the purchaser has one done. Your vendor's solicitor is not going to know whether it's got smoke alarms or whether it's got window locks. They haven't asked that question. It's in the black box on the front page of your contract. It's on your agency agreement. It's on your back to do a sales inspection report as required by the regulations. It's on your back to make sure you sell this well. Make sure you know what's there and what's not there. You don't need the hassle down the track of having to negotiate. Oh, well, we want to take $5,000 off because we're going to have to do X, Y, and Z. It's probably not going to cost anywhere near $5,000, but that would be a figure that somebody would pick and say. And then you've got an unhappy vendor because they had an offer and acceptance, but now that's gone because they're haggling about price. Much better to go right back to that point of filling in your sales inspection report, be the professional agent, and know what you're selling. Know what's there, know what's not there, and fill it in and keep records of it. So really clear. So much better to know before listing than have to deal with it when you thought you'd almost sold it and now we're arguing over points about minor issues. Well, in terms of money, minor issues in terms of the price of the property, certainly not minor issues in terms of safety when you think about my two examples of window locks and smoke alarms. So guys, as I said, be the professional agent, ask the questions, have the discussion, get it sorted out at the beginning of the process when everybody's happy, everyone's excited about selling this property, do it then. And then move on and enjoy the sales process.